Hello and welcome back to the Code Maven channel. My name is Gabor Szabo. In a previous video, we saw how to use the cpan digger to find some Perl-related package to contribute to. So we're going to start from there now, and we're going to have a little contribution. We're going to configure GitHub actions to one of the Perl modules. But what you can see on the screen is the web page of the cpan digger. And you can, I will scroll down here, and I found this particular package that was created by Liftkind. And what I see is that it doesn't have CI enabled. So that's what we're going to do. I click on the link to the package, to the module that we arrived to MetaCpan, and from MetaCpan we can click on the link to the repository. So the cpan digger already found that this particular package has included the link to the GitHub repository, but didn't have CI. So that's where we are. This is the source code. What we can see that is using this Zilla as the packaging system, and it doesn't have any CI system configured. So the first thing we'll have to at this point decide if we would like to fork right away on the GitHub website or clone it first and later fork. I can start with the idea that I'm going to clone the repository. It's usually what I do because I'm not sure if I can manage to even run the test locally of this package, and if not, then maybe I don't create the fork. Anyway, so I now go to my command line and copy that URL that I just copied from there, and here it is on my computer. Now I can, here I already tried it earlier, so I want to go through this. Usually what I do here is try to run the tests of this project, install the module and run the tests. Now I already have all the dependencies installed, so that it's not interesting. So I just ran the test by running zil test, and it executed the test, and everything looks fine. Okay, so what we need now is create a branch, create the configuration file for GitHub Actions, and then push it out to have actually forked version. So we'll also have to fork it on GitHub. So I'm going to create git checkout -b, and we can call the branch anything. I'm going to call it CI. I'm going to copy, so there is this try GitHub Actions, GitHub workflows, and there is already a copy of the YAML file that I'm going to use. That is a more generic, it's a generic version of a configuration file that's good for Perl projects that are using this Zilla. So I'm going to copy this file, but of course, first I need to create locally the GitHub and then a workflows directory. And then now I can copy this file. I'm going to look in the file later on, but let me just do the whole the commands to show the commands, and I will go into the file while we are waiting it to be executed. And here we can call it any name we would like. We can keep calling it Perl zil, or I usually just call it CI YAML. And I think it can be both YAML or YML, doesn't really matter. So we have the file now, and we can commit it, git add git status. I'll also check just to make sure that this is the only file that I'm going to commit. Git commit -m add CI. Okay. And now I need to push it out, but of course I can't because my remote is the one that's owned by Liftkind, and I can't push out there. So I'll have to switch back to GitHub, and here I create a fork. So I'm going to have my own copy of this project on my GitHub. And now I can take the URL of this repository and add it as another remote. So git remote add, and I'm going to call it fork because this is a forked version. And now if I just run git remote -v, then it will tell me that I have both of these remotes, and I can hit push -u, and I'm going to push out to 4, and we're going to call it CI there too. Okay, so this is how I'm going to push it out. Now, as I've switched back, it already tells me that there is something that I can compare and send the pull request. But what I'm really interested in is now seeing that GitHub Actions are running and whether it's passing there as well. So I can click here on the Actions button, and here I can see that GitHub Actions is running. So just a little background, what it does is actually GitHub starts a virtual machine or Docker container, or what doesn't really matter what, a machine, and executes the various instructions that are in that file that we just copied. So what are in that file? Let me check it. GitHub, let me show it to you. So what's in there is, first of all, the trigger. When does this happen? And it will happen every time someone pushes out a change to the repository, or when a pull request is sent. And what is being done? So here a couple of things. There are configurations where we have a matrix of platforms and Perl versions. And in this case, right now, the runner is only Ubuntu and the latest version of it. I have commented out the macOS or Apple and Windows latest platforms. We can try them, or you can try them later on yourself, just by moving them into this list. Here we can also put a list of Perl versions. Right now it's only 532. And then once we define our possible matrix, we tell it to run on the runner from one of the runners and use this as the title. And then inside here, we are going to install the Perl version from this matrix. Okay, so basically we can run our tests. We can ask GitHub actually to run our tests on the 3 platforms and on various versions of Perl, verifying that our code runs on each one of them. So this is what defines the the platform that we are running, the operating system. Then this action tells to check out the repository itself, or repository. It could check out other repositories as well if that's what needs it, but now we are checking out our own. This action installs the right version of Perl that was taken from this matrix. And it will also, there's a play on whether installing Strawberry Perl or not. This step only shows the version of Perl. It's only useful for us for later on looking at the results. Then the next step is installing cpan-m. Using cpan-m to install this Zilla. As you remember, this project uses this Zilla for packaging. And before that, that's just printing out the version of cpan-m. Then we're going to run the Zilla command Zilla command to install all the dependencies. And in both cases, I used no test. This is the default I'm using here because otherwise it would run all the tests of all these packages and it will take a lot of time. You might decide to remove this, and there are also ways to cache the installed modules, but we are not looking at that right now. And then we are running this Zilla test, and basically the test using this Zilla. And basically that's it. And there are some code to display the errors if possible from cpan-m, basically, I think. So that's what is in the file. And if you switch back now, you can see that it's green, so it's already executed. It also says it ran for almost 3 minutes. We can click on this and look at the results. And here you can see that the results of the showing the Perl version, just in case you'd like to know, that is indeed 532 and 532.1 to be more exact. This is the installation of this Zilla, and then you can see, and if there is some error, then you can see it there. And the running of the test, that's the most important part here, is you can see basically the same output that we saw when I was running the tests on my command line. So we were lucky in this case. In some other cases, it's a lot more work to make it work, make the tests pass on the GitHub Actions as well, because sometimes dependencies might be missing, sometimes things need to be installed and so on. So, but this is a simple case. So, and we were lucky. So now we can go back to the source code, and it offers us to send a pull request. And that's basically what just we need to do, to send the pull request and hope that the author is going to accept our submission. So that's it. Compare pull request. Here again, I don't add anything else. It's just add CI, and I'm creating the pull request. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Remember, you can pick up any modules from cpandigger and then do the same steps to add the CI system or other things that you might need to do. If you like this video, then well, actually, please press the like button and follow the channel. And there is also options to sponsor my activity and to help other projects installing CI, writing test automation, and creating videos like this. Thank you very much, and see you next time.